Hey everybody, see if you can hear me now. Hope you can hear me now. I'm not sure if you can or not, but I hope you can. Let me know if you can hear me at this point. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. I guess that's no still. Man. Uh-uh. Well, it's too bad. I guess there's no live stream today. Yeah. Hello, hello. Anybody there? Yeah, price is running nice, but you hear me? All right, good. All right, good, good. I'm glad you can at least hear me. I just opened up and I got into another trade real quick as we hit our zone. I don't know if you caught that trade or not, but got my first target off and running. I got a few locked in, point and three quarters locked in, up 5 points now. So we'll see. Excellent, good job, LJ. I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you. I don't know. What happened is my computer didn't shut down last night like I thought it did, and um, well, I knew it didn't because I had the auto trader running, but um, it did a bunch of automatic updates and messed with some of my drivers, so I had to go back through and mess with all those. So sorry about that, but I'm here. So Soda, you didn't take the trade, okay? Yeah, it was a good zone I triggered in. I guess I'll draw that zone real fast. I had it. It's obviously drawn for me on a different spot, but I'll go ahead and draw the zone reason where I entered at. You can see me. I entered right here at the top at 16 even to the long side. Took my first target off, so we're at 5.5 points today. Profit so far locked in. Actually 6 points locked in. 6.5 actually locked in because I moved my stop up to 17 and 3/4. Candles at 920 candle. So it's a good, perfect zone. Off another zone you can see in my chart that was already worked on earlier. The zone off of 540 candle, my original zone. It's just been playing around that zone all morning, up and down, and then this 920 candle zone, this inside our zone was created, and took a trade out of that right after the open there at 935. A bounce on that, and we're taking a long ride up here. Got targets up top. Mitchell says he's ready, but hey, Mitchell, man, I'm not able to get the Skype going for some reason right now. I think it's like I said, I had some updates and it's messing with my drivers, and I have not been able to get to that driver yet. So we might just have to let me work on it here for a little while and see if I can get it. Yeah, let him know if you can. If he's not listening to the stream, that would be good. He just texted, so said he was ready, but Yeah, man. So anyway, so appreciate you guys being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties this morning, but it's been a very fruitful day so far. I've got, you can see on my chart here, I've got a couple of all these pink arrows here are where my trades, my initial trade would go in, and then the second arrow is the second smaller arrowed line. The pink line is my trail stop where it got hit. So you can see I had two trades this morning. You see the targets on there. It's based off of this area I drew back here to the left with all these circles and lines and these zones. They're very strong points of trade based off order flow. So took trades around those and made some good points this morning so far. And we got a good runner right here at it's up 3.5 points, 4 points. I've got a 1.75 locked in on that trade. So no matter what happens, I've made 2 3/4 on this trade with both my positions, but not going to trail it too close yet. I feel we're going to get some more rejection out of here, but I think it's going to go a little bit higher. So I'll get aggressive as we get into this higher zone up here. I'll get a little more aggressive in my trail of that stop there and try to lock in a few more points, knowing it's going to bounce out of that area. Okay. So everybody hear me okay though? Clear, sounds clear, good. Please let me know and ask any questions you have, please. It's probably going to just be me talking this morning, and Soto and Mitchell talking on the chat, and anybody else, please talk in on the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in under this this other hidden zone right here because I think it's going to bounce right here, or it's going to bounce out of this area, come back in here, get me, but at least I've locked in 4 points. Okay. It could bounce right here, so I got my stop right. Yep, there you go. Stopped out here at not 29.20. So for 4 points, not bad. So got a total of 5 points on that trade between two contracts. That was good. Or yeah, between both contracts. So good trade this morning. So trading good and well, making good entries. All right, good. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll just try to figure out what's going on with the other. Maybe with the new update that came through, maybe that'll help with the with Soto and Mitchell's sound even, because I know Alan, you told me at one time it was pretty bad. So so maybe that'll help that. That'd be great if it does. So anyway, just hanging out here. Made some points, so we're looking for some areas of trade, some more opportunities. Got some resistance up top here. Let me kind of pull some chart in here. Got some more resistance up top. Let me narrow that here for everybody. So let me draw this arrow here so you can kind of see it on the chart. Entry here, first target right here, right? First target quick right there. We got a good runner here. So we got the runner is going to be longer this time, which is good. So that's our runner. So we had a good trade this morning, both of those trades. So we've had 3 good trades this morning. A couple runners that's run for a few extra points, so that was good. So yeah, all's well this morning. All right, so we keep watching here. News came out earlier today, or at 8:30, I believe it was, and we have some 10:30. Okay, so Alan asked, going forward, could I ask you, Soto, and Mitchell to post the trades in the chat due to the sound issues, and sometimes I'm away and can review the text. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think we can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And Soto and Mitchell, I'm assuming you guys can do that as well. Just basically, we'll just have to type them in right now. I want to do Discord to where I can actually just snap a chat and post it in as a link. That would actually be kind of cool. That way you can pull up a link on the text. But for right now, we'll definitely put in we'll type that in for you, Alan. No worries, bro. Sure will. I wonder if I can try something here. Hold on just one second. Let me try something. I hope this doesn't freeze. Yeah, I'll wait. I was going to try to snapshot my screen and post it in the chat here, but I better wait and do that another time. So with the issues I've already had this morning, I don't want to mess it up. So Yeah, let me go ahead and we're waiting on a trade here. We got a little bounce off of a previous area of a zone. I just didn't mark it as far as excuse me, of a orange zone here, but I've got it marked and it's bouncing off of that. You can see to the left of my chart, you'll see that high with that red line there. That's what's bouncing. So example, he wants a reason. What zone, long or short, price, entry, and exits. Okay, yeah, can do that. Definitely do that. The reason will always be kind of just either a it's always going to be through the checklist on the reason. I'll go ahead and tell you that. But the zone, I'll definitely say, supply or demand, which is long or short. That's going to tell you the same thing. Price and entry and the exits, I'll tell you that as well. But yeah, I'll try to give you a reason. But usually the reasons are pretty similar, pretty much the same as far as support and resistance, and then the supply zones that were already there. That's kind of what the basis of the trades are anyway, based off the supply and demand zones that were already created from support and resistance. So those are always really the reasons. And then the reason we enter is we'll talk about the volume and then the price action. So I just say PA is good. All checklist was good. That should be the only reason we enter a trade anyway, when the whole checklist is good. And that's goes from price action, volume, support and resistance, and supply and demand. So I'll make sure when I put that, that's kind of the reasons. Tools, all tools were checked. What zone was a supply zone, let's say, price, entry, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've got those lines are from previous day's profile. That's all that is. Let me know. This is what I've done here. Just to kind of get some ideas, and I've created more lines for the fact that these green lines, all these green lines you see here on my chart, Alan, all those green lines there are actually from order flow. Those are big buyers in the green lines, and then the red lines you have are big sellers. So this one up top here in this big orange zone I have a red line in. That's a big seller right there. So from there, I'm looking to take a short when price gets up there. That's what these are today. So like I said, I'll start introducing these things a little bit at a time. So you can kind of see that. Don't want to overcrowd the chart too much. I know I got a lot going on there as far as just drawing tools and things, but that's really what that is. So we're bouncing out of a zone now, which is a good trade. I just didn't take it, but volume was down. Looks like in a good zone. It might have been a decent trade. I don't think I would have taken it at this point, knowing I'm waiting for it to get higher around 26 even to look for a short opportunity there. But yes, sir, I've got the big orange lines, which is what I've always got, which are the zones. Okay, that's just drawing off the Ninja, the trader tool there. And then the individual thick lines, the green lines and red lines, those are, and you have one turquoise line there. That's actually the value area high from yesterday. Let me zoom out, and you can at least see that. So I'll make it real tight here, and you can kind of see what that is, what that looks like. So you should be able to see this. Just one second. And you can see why I've done what I've done. So that's kind of why I've got some of these lines drawn right here already. Like this is the VPOC from yesterday, right here in the middle at 18 even. That was yesterday's VPOC. Okay, we got this green line here at the bottom at 1450. Let my cursor and everything catch up to my voice. It looks like, because on my screen it looks delayed here. So let me slow down. But the orange line right in the middle is at 18 is VPOC. Now the green line you're looking at now is at 1450. That is just a node, a profile node. You can kind of see to the left here on the profile. That's a pretty good node there, so we can get some resistance, some bouncing out of that, right? If you know market profile, it's kind of what the same is. And this turquoise line down here is also the value area low, where we had some good bounce and a little gap there. So we should have some good support and resistance, and as well as supply and demand zones there. So that's the reason I have all these zones drawn up. And That's the reason you see a lot going on my chart, but that's actually what that is from yesterday. So I kind of just put that on there this morning as something new for you, everybody, to kind of look at. Just gives more of a confluence. That's all it is, more confluence. So we're pushing through that high value area yesterday, but I remember right up here, guys, this morning we have a good area to short, and we have that big seller right there at 26 and a quarter. So I'll be looking to take it as long as volume lines up and price action continues to give me the opportunity that says we're a green light for a trade here. I'll look to short that around 26 even to the downside, try to get a little bump out of that. So so that's it, man. That's what everything is. I know that's a lot, but that's what they all are. So I hope that explains that. If not, tell me and I'll keep talking through it, because I kind of jumped around there a little bit. So but just tell me and I'll definitely keep explaining. No worries. So Soto, Mitchell, you guys make any trades yet this morning? Are you looking at anything? Anybody looking at anything? Alan, did you get some trades off your fibs this morning? Paul, I know Paul's in somewhere. He's here, so be interested to. It's just gonna be me today, guys. Looks like so. I'm not the most entertaining guy, so I'm gonna need some help here. That's what Soto and Mitchell are good about, keeping the conversation light and going. So let me know. Wow, look at that big old massive spike there. What was that off of? So I'm glad I didn't make that trade now. But look at that big spike. That's good. Awesome. Well, we wouldn't have taken a trade anyway, right? Because the volume was pushing real hard and heavy up there. So that seller's been taken out. So when a seller gets taken out and left, that's usually a sign of there's an issue there. And as when like in an order flow, when there's a lot of sellers in this area and it's be pushed down and they get pushed against and pushed through, that should kind of make you question what's going on there, right? So with this right here, then I'm definitely long bias now because of that. So we'll just have to watch. But again, that happened very quickly and volume was increasing. That's just the one of the cool things about the method here is even though we had a good spot identified, volume increased pretty quick and then price shot. So I just didn't have the move for the trade. So let me back out here and go to 60 minutes and see where we might be looking. Well, there you go. Right here at the high of yesterday is an area. We have an area of demand. Of supply. We're up top here at 45 even. But we are pushed the high of yesterday at 34 and a quarter now. So that could be an area of resistance. So we want to watch that. All right. I've definitely got some things to watch and keep our head on straight here about a few things. So I want to do that, but I'm not gonna yet. All right. So we got a nice zone right there. It's pushing off of a beautiful zone it pushed off of right here. Let me mark it. I'm a little late to this one, so I can't say I had this one marked up before, which I didn't, obviously, and you're going to see that. So I didn't take the trade, but knowing that's where price bounced off of, and I was just behind on there and didn't look into that quick enough on the hourly time frame because I didn't expect this big move so hard and so fast, to be honest with you. So, but that's okay. Not going to chase it. We're up pretty well this morning, so no reason to chase. But you can see that's why that's bouncing. Pretty nice opportunity there. All right, let's go back to the 5 minute. Knowing we got some areas to look at up top here. So let me go on the 5 minute and see if I have an opportunity to get in up here. Yeah, we definitely got some opportunity here. So let's back out and look at this. So bear with me on my chart, guys. I'm having to move it and squinch in and out of there. So sorry about that, but I'm trying to talk my way through it so you guys can understand what I'm doing. So I'm backing out now. We know that that's a good area it's bounced out of right here. So let's look for an opportunity. If price wants to get back into a little bit higher there, what kind of opportunities do we have to short out of there? And that's what we're looking at right here. So I got a few different areas, and this Got to look at this one closely. Got a couple areas we could maybe move out of right here. So let me back out and look at something else as well. Alright. Good area there. Alright. So let me draw a line. Let me draw a line here. I'm going to draw a horizontal line where I would possibly think there's a good opportunity to short out of this zone here if we get up there. It's going to be right here at 36.75. That's what I'll be looking for. And I'll just be patient and wait for price to get into that if it wants to. But it's pushing up there pretty good, but volume's really increased, guys. So I'm not going to, it's on a mission this morning, so it's definitely running to the upside. So I'm not going to chase that and get myself in any kind of trouble, even though we got some rejection up there, potentially. Not going to chase it, okay? But we're going to watch price. We're going to watch price here. All right. So, do you have any trades this morning? Did you guys take anything? Yeah, it was gone silent on me here. I hope everybody can hear me still. If you can still hear me, please just type in a yes or a Y or something so I can know you can still hear me, since I've had the issues this morning. I'd hate to be sitting here talking and nobody can hear me. Just might have missed that trade. I might have already missed it. Sound is okay. Okay, good. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking to get in this trade here. I probably already missed it. Obviously, the bounce. I missed the opportunity there. I should have. Well, I'm not gonna say should have done anything, but I had my zone. It came up to and just went one tick in front of it, and it's rejecting. So I've got an order sitting there at 36.75 to the short side, but volume stays low. If it picks up pretty good, I'll kind of back off of it. So we'll just kind of see. Knowing I got a zone up top here, guys. Okay, I got a big zone up top on the hourly time frame up here at 245 even. So need to be cautious and make sure they don't want to run it up there and just run past me, run over me here. So let's just be careful with it. It's rejecting out of here nicely. So because of that, I'm gonna already state that I've missed the trade at this point. Okay, I've missed the bounce off of that, even though we were right there to the tick, but just didn't get us in. I didn't get in on time. So it's okay. It's nice to see price react out of the areas which we see early on. So that's always nice. But just didn't make the trade. But no worries. Up pretty good so far this morning. So just going to be patient and not chase anything, get crazy. But look for opportunities, obviously, but just not get crazy and try to give stuff back for no reason. Still got to be disciplined and make good trades here. So let me see. Let me check out the news here. I know I was looking at it this morning earlier, and I just we had some news early this morning. Nothing major though, obviously. We did have some reds, some red flags, which was a CPI and the core CPI, and they just barely missed the expectations, so not a big deal. Unemployment kind of claims down 210, so that's great. So really, price is just moving because the institutions want to move. That's really all that's about. Institutions moving money. That's really all that is right there. No real new spikes. So that's not from this kind of move right here. This parabolic move to the upside is definitely not a news move. It's big boys want to move somewhere, and they're wanting to go up top. It looks like they pushed our zone. So we had a good opportunity to trade right here at 37. Just didn't get in time. It would have given us an easy point, but just didn't get in time. So now, since we've pushed through this upper zone here, I will keep it there because it could become support here in the future, but I will leave it there. Looking now for my next opportunity to the short side is going to be up here around 45. But I might have an opportunity if a price wants to reject out of here and breathe for a few minutes. I would look for a long opportunity back into this area of that was big seller that got kind of ran over. He's obviously a buyer at this point, so I'd be looking at that price range at this point to the upside if we can kind of get a retracement. So we'll just keep an eye on it, watch it, see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen here. So, all right, I'm just being patient. Being patient. Good strong move up though. That's nice to see that. We like to see that. Like to see that good move up. So Alan, since you just seem to be the only one responding right now, have you had any good trades on your fibs this morning? Is this reacting off of anything of a 50 or 38 or any of that 62, any of that kind of stuff? 61.8? Any of that reaction off of those fib lines? Since you're kind of a resident fib expert. Interesting to see what you say there. Alright guys, just being patient. Good trade this morning. Just waiting for our areas to come back into play. Getting a little bounce out of this area. Right here maybe, but we'll kind of wait and see. See what I'd like. The ideal situation for me right now, what I'm looking for to set up would be at this point, let price come on back to us with volume staying low and come back into our area right here between 27 and a quarter to 26 even, this zone right here. I would like to I'd like to wait for price to kind of retrace back in here and kind of give us that really good potential lightning bolt pattern with this big move up. Kind of get in the middle there in the resting phase, if you want to call it, or the A, B to C to D concept. I like to get in around C here, so we'll just, if you're an Elliott Wave guy, which I'm not, but I do recognize the patterns when they set up. But that's what we're kind of looking for. This would be the ideal setup, and it kind of looks like what it's trying to create here. So we'll kind of just be patient and let it come back into our zone to where we feel like is I'm willing to take the trade, win or lose at that zone. So I'll wait for price to kind of get down into there. If it wants to rest and come back that far and take a breather before it goes higher, then we'll look for it in that zone to take a long trade. So we'll just be patient here. So Alan said, I did this morning, but I'm not in front of my computer, just listening now. Okay, cool, Alan. Awesome. Hope it was a good trade, man. I hope it was a good trade, but I appreciate you listening, man, for sure. Thank you. Did you? Nice. Good, good. Some similar longs he took. That's great. And that also tells me that we're in a good, strong area where the fib support as well, potential longs. So that's nice to know that kind of stuff. So thank you for that. So yep, just hanging out, guys. Being patient. got some good trades this morning. If you're just now joining, I sure do appreciate it. Thank you very much. LJ, I don't know if you're still here, man, but if you are, I'd like to tell me a little about, are you new to trading? Or you just started trading? Or you've been trading for 27 years, I think, like Alan has? So we got guys that are brand spanking new, don't even know, looking at the chart for the first time, I should say, and guys that have been around the block a few times. So we're all very open to help and talk and just kind of talk about situations, but any kind of advice we can give, or not advice could give, I guess I should say, but any kind of explanation we might be able to give you, please chime in, man. We'd love to talk to you. By far, Alan says, by far not an expert at fibs, just found consistent trading using them. Well, no, I got you. Yeah, I got you. That's, if you're doing that consistently, I'm gonna consider you an expert. So, yeah, I've done fibs for a long time myself, so I know all about fibs. But fibs are great. I just haven't incorporated them into this method for the average person. So it's good to have you here, kind of throwing out fib numbers and opportunities there based on fibs, and if they coincide with our method, that's just more of a confirmation. So definitely you would be considered our expert here as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to label you, sorry. You might not like that, but I'll just say you're our go-to guy for the fibs. So when you chime in, we kind of would love to hear you tell us where you're at on the fib. That'd be great. But EJ says, I'm a beginner. Awesome, man. That's cool. Well, welcome to the world of trading. Hope you enjoy it. Hope we make this easy for you. I think you would get along really great here, but also with, Mitchell and Soto are both new to trading. They've been doing it for 6 months, I guess now, what have you, 6-7 months. But they've picked it up extremely quickly, this method, and it's like it's not difficult. It's very simple, and that's the beautiful thing about it. It's very simple, but they've done extremely well with it. Just because, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't have a lot of stuff that they have to get out of their head, because they were both kind of brand new to it, kind of knew about it, but really didn't dive much into it. So this is a new method, and they're not having to kind of deprogram themselves of a lot of different things. So if you're kind of in that boat, I think you're going to do very, very well. Even the fact that you're a beginner, I think you're going to do very well for because you're not going to overcomplicate it. And that's unfortunately what most experienced traders do. They kind of overcomplicate it and always looking for a little bit better way. And sometimes it's just better to keep things simple and use the basics of the market. We can all kind of get sold on all the pretty things that are going on, the pretty bells and whistles out there, and all the shiny objects and indicators. We can kind of get sold on those, and I have been in the past, and I've used most all of them out there in the past over my years of trading. But come back to, it's just better to be simple and easy, and it works, man. It really does work. So thank you for being here. First off, I appreciate that, man. And ask any kind of questions you have, man. Trust me, there's no stupid questions here. So you don't know what you don't know, right? I mean, so there's please don't be shy. Ask anything you might want to ask, and we'd love to talk to you and help answer that to you. No matter if you just, what's a tick, it don't bother me. I'll be happy to talk to you about that. Or what's the ES market? I mean, it's that kind of simple. I don't have a problem with answering those kind of questions at all. So please, you're not too much of a beginner here. So, but again, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate the interaction. Alan said, my fib bounce lesson on yesterday's action really worked out. Yes, it did. Absolutely, it did. You did great there. We appreciate that, and that's what I'm saying, man. Whether you want to be the resident expert or not, I've kind of done labeled you, buddy. So you're the man when it comes to the fibs. So hope you're okay with that. But yeah, thanks for telling us that yesterday. Sure appreciate it. All right, so we're just kind of letting price kind of make its way back into our area here. So we're just going to be patient and wait for it. We got a few points to go here, but we'll just kind of wait for it to kind of get back in this area, and then hopefully it works out for us, and we can kind of see this picture playing out in our head. And I think that's a very important part of trading, is kind of thinking ahead of time, you know, kind of thinking what the potentials are here and there, and trying to figure out, okay, if this scenario presents itself, what am I going to do? You know, what's my plan of action if that happens? Or, and if it doesn't happen and it doesn't do what I want, that's okay too, right? Because none of us can predict the market. But one thing you will learn, the market does move in certain type of patterns pretty consistently, and then the hard part is trying to get those consistently, but and nobody can pick the direction at any given time. But if you can kind of see a pattern that tends to play itself out over time, which the ES definitely has a personality, and you can kind of learn that the longer you deal with it, the more you'll learn it, and you can start to see these patterns play out. And this is one of these patterns we're hoping to play out right here, to where had a really strong move up, you know, from 930, had a very strong move up. We ran up about, how many is that, 30 or 15, 20, about 25, 30 points. Pretty hard run, right? Let me do a measurement of that real fast. And we just kind of looking for some exhaustion and get a little tired. And let's see. Okay, so 24 points. It ran hard, 24 points up. So I'd like for it to kind of get back into this area back here and kind of do a little bit of a move back. I mean, I imagine if Alan was looking at his fibs, he'd probably fib this right here out and look for it to retrace back into this area. So I might do that just real quick, just to say, hey, let's see if this plays out here, if it has any merit to coming back into our area. Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. So I just pulled that fib there, and the 50% is exactly on our red line here, right in our area. So we can, if we want to get back in, if Price wants to get back into the area, I think probably if Alan could see us on the chart, he'd probably look for a bounce there and look for an opportunity to trade, which is right in our zone, exactly right on our red line there. So that's neat to watch, see that. Okay, so, but what we're looking for is a little retracement back into this area. So look at me draw this out on the chart here. So if you're not understanding, let me see that kind of, we'll look at this pattern here. We wanted the price to go up pretty strong, which it did, right? So we want price now to kind of pull back into this area of support some way, shape, or form. We're looking for it to kind of come back in here, and then and we'll look to, hopefully price will continue to make its way up at that point into our zone up there. And you know, you can take this first leg here and kind of duplicate it from the AB to C to D pattern concept, and you should kind of go the same distance, you know, in all perfect scenario from a Elliott wave concept. But I'm not concerned about that as much as I am about kind of getting this lightning bolt pattern, which we're wanting to look for. So I got more confirmation now doing the fib that we'll get back into this area, and we have a very high potential of bouncing in this area. So as long as volume continues to decrease like it is, guys, it's decreasing nicely, right? So this is something we got to continue to watch. So price is going down. I mean, and volume is coming down. So we want to get it back into this area right here of strength. I think we got a lot of support opportunity right there to go long. So I will definitely be looking for a trade in this area, and willing to take my 1 point risk on it, and if I lose, I lose. I'm not going to be too upset about it, because I feel like as long as price is agreeing and our tools are met and price gets into this area, I feel very confident we'll get that bounce, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, you know. So when it comes down to that, so we'll kind of watch it and see if we can get anything out of it. It'd be great to watch. So let's just kind of watch this together. So far so good, making its way back in here. So Soto, Mitchell, do you guys got any trades sitting here at this point? If y'all are looking at your charts there, you got anything anywhere you like a trade out of here? And we got a good zone right there. So I mean, I'm liking it. I'm liking the 26.5 actually all the way up to 27.25. So somewhere in there, we just have to kind of watch price. But I'd be interested to see what you guys are thinking right here. All right, let's just be patient. Let's kind of look for this area. I'll put a kind of a circle there, kind of the area we're looking to trade out of, somewhere around in here. I better expand this just in case. But yeah, kind of looking for an area of trade right through that circle and that oval, that you can kind of see. That's kind of a sweet spot. So kind of looking for that. It's a good opportunity to potentially get in there. So let me pull up some order flow here real quick. Oop, wrong one. We'll kind of look at that spot. Yeah, we got a lot of buyers right there for sure. um, the big seller taken out, but we got a ton of buying going on from 24 to 25 all the way up to 29, 27. So a ton of buying going on in this area right here. Okay. So we want to catch. I think we can catch the top there. So this, like I said, I like 27, pretty strong. Even a potential bounce at 27 and a quarter. It's just this where it can kind of get a little more difficult because you do have a point. Let's see here, point and a half zone really there that we have to deal with. So we got to make sure. We have to take the risk, either get on the front side of this thing because we only have a point stop. So if we got in right at if we got in right here at the top here at 27.50, that means we only got a point to work with down to 26.50, which we've got a lot of buyers, but down this red line right here is at 26.50, which was a big seller. So we have a lot of buying right above him as well. So so this is the area where you just have to kind of watch price action and decide, as price gets down there, what's it looking like? Is price really slowing down? Does it look sluggish? It looks like it's an easy bounce opportunity because of it's just being exhausted, actually kind of falling onto the floor. Is it going to hold it? Is it going to push it back up? That's kind of what we got to look at when we get to this area. But it's an area I'll wait for. Even though we're getting a little bit of rejection here, I'm still going to wait for this area. So we'll just kind of keep talking through it and see what we can get together. But like I said, you see the pink lines. We've had 3 good trades this morning. I think I'm up 6.25 points. Let me take a look here. No, I think I'm up more than that actually. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, about 6.5 points for 2 contracts with 2 contracts. So not bad, a little bit decent morning for us, and but good trade entries. Those are the main things to look at here. We had good trade entries, and they've done what we thought they should. So that's always a good sign. Markets cooperated with us this morning. We're in sync. That's always a good thing. All right, cool. So we'll just kind of hang out and wait, knowing that if we get the opportunity to trade, it's going to be in this area down here. Let me move my chart here. It's going to be down in this area of 27.25 to 26.5. 26.25. So that's the area we'll be looking. Nothing until that point. All right. Let me get back off of that. Pull my chart in a little bit here so we can kind of see the big picture. All right, we'll kind of pull that out here. There we go. All right. So you must not be on here because I don't see you doing anything. You're not talking on the chat or anything. So did I lose you? You and Mitchell? You guys talking? What's the deal? Let me all right, gotcha. Well, can you hear me talking then, I guess? Soto, can you hear me talking? If you can, man, type into the chat. I'd like to discuss some of the trades. I know you guys have traded, so I'd like to talk about them for the purpose of the live stream. price is bouncing a little bit here. Kind of, we might not get back into our red zone, so we'll just be patient and see. The volume's just not spiking yet, even though we got a little push up there. Volume's not spiking, so. Nope, I did not see that. Let's see, I didn't end the trade on that one. Cool, thanks CJ, LJ. You can hear me? Still good. Soto. No, so do. Repost in the chat. Repost. Big thing we need to know here, Soto. Was it a winner? Because you guys are the ones trading on for the for the 1 point a day challenge, not me. So I don't take my winners or losers. We do just yours and Mitchell's. So. Let me know if you've won that trade that you took this morning, or if Mitchell won or lost. Either way, it doesn't matter. Whichever one of y'all did, let me know. If it's a loss, that's cool. Just let me know about it. Excuse me. All right. Well, price looks like it's getting a little few legs here. Price might not get back into our area right now. It will eventually, but not right now, I guess. So we'll just kind of watch and see. Still hadn't broken this high yet, so it could technically just go sideways for a few minutes. It can come back into our area. So not getting anxious about it, just kind of watching it. If it wants to take off and not come back into our area, that's okay. We'll still be looking for that short around 29.45 area. Kind of be looking for that. So no worries there. Let me get this off of Universal so I can kind of look at my other chart here. Alright, prices. Maybe want to run here. Alright, let me go ahead and put that back on there. Alright, what would we be looking to get in this trade right here? Yeah, we definitely see some rejection right at 45. So if price wants to get it up to 45, we could probably look at front running this thing here. Let me see. Open it up a little bit here. Alright guys, all I'm doing is going back looking for this zone here and seeing what kind of zone we might have on the 5 minute on the opportunity to the short side, which is a 45. Still looks pretty strong there. It's a pretty good zone right here at 44.5 to 45 and a half, 3/4. So order flow standpoint, 45 eating is pretty strong. So I definitely look to possibly put a trade into the short side at 29.45 if price wants to go ahead and get on up there. So we'll kind of watch it and see. If it doesn't want to come back in our zone first, we'll just kind of be patient and watch it. Okay. So let me go ahead and move that out of the way. Kind of just patient watching price here, guys. So I'll look for an opportunity to go ahead and put a circle up here so everybody kind of knows where I'm looking at. If I decide to make some kind of trade, it's going to be in these areas here. to the short side. All right, there we go. So let's see. Trade taken today at 9:25 using a 640 candle zone from today to go short. Okay, so let me check that out here real quick. 9:25. All right. A 9:25 candle here. Hold on a minute. Excuse me, using the 640 candle. Okay. That's my bad. Let me see. Using the 640 candle, it's kind of going back to it. Yep, good candle there. At 9:25, he went short. Entered at 29.18.25. Exit at 20. Good. So you got your point and a tick. I didn't do a trailing on this one, so I got all 31 contracts out. Good job, man. Yeah, excellent. Okay. Yeah. So he got in at got in at 18.25 and exited at 17.25. So. Yeah, good job. On his first trades, he stopped doing the trailing tick on his first trade. He goes all in, all out on his first trade, so he can kind of make sure he locks in those full points, which is good. I have no problem with that. So nice job, Soto. He got his 31 points because he's trading 31 contracts this morning, so nice job. That's a good zone there, good spot. All right, excellent. So you did get one for the team then. Good job. I mean, for the individual. Good job. Nice job, man. Hey, Paul, there you are. Mitchell get the same trade. And Paul, you make the same trade. I like to hear other people's trades, especially during a slow time like this. We can kind of talk them out and show them on the chart, so that's always good. So chime in if you made some trades this morning. Chime in. Let's talk about them. We got a few minutes here until something happens, until we consider looking at a trade. We got our zones drawn up where we're going to look at trading, so we'll just kind of take it easy and kind of watch it for time being here. So let me pull that back in. So we got a long opportunity down here, and then we know we're in a short up here if we get the opportunity. So right now we're just kind of in between all that, so I'm not going to get suckered into anything right now. There you go, Soto. So you can answer that question from Alan there. If you want to, it's up to you. Alright, there you go. He uses one contract per 1,000 is what he does, Alan. And that's kind of what we talk about doing here because you got the 1 point stop. So I know that's very aggressive to most people, but as long as you keep that 1 point stop, you're okay. And that's kind of it. It's one of the why 1 points are so important. So I see you use one contract per 10K, which is awesome. I like that. Very risk adverse there. That's great. So Paul said no trade, was waiting to get your sound back. I can hear you now. Awesome. Hey, are you still in the auto trader, Paul? Let me see where mine's at. I went ahead and left it in there like we talked about last night. So yeah, we're up a little bit. We're up. How many points is that? 10, 12, 15. So we're up a few 10, 12 points there. We're so close to that thing locking in, man. But we need it to push. I think if it pushes into our upper zone up here to lock in. But we'll see it. So let me see where that would have been entered at. Entry is right here. Yeah, so right now we're up 17 points in the auto trader, so that's good. Got up 20. Pretty close to locking in, but not there yet. After this trade, this morning I got So tomorrow, unless I take another trade, I'll be trading 3K. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's a very fast climb, but he's sticking to the one contract per 1,000 with the 1 point stop. That's why I can't stress how important that 1 point stop is when you're being that aggressive, margin wise, per contract. So you got to be extremely disciplined to lock in that 1 point and to not deviate from that. So let me clarify that. Yeah, he started a little bit with $1,000 over a little bit over a month ago, but he's also been trading more than one time a day. So let's make sure we make that clear. He's traded multiple times and has just done that because he's already done this a couple times, where he's made 1,000% on his account a couple times. So he's being a little more aggressive than what we're showing on the 1 point a day. That's the reason we're keeping a track, not actually what he's doing, because he's trading more than one time a day. But on the 1 point a day challenge, you are trading one contract at 1 point a day, win or loss. And then if you lose 1 point, you're done. You win 1 point, you're done. And then you go to demo from there. So that's kind of what he's doing. And then, or that's what we're doing for the channel anyway. Let's say that. So, but he's grown that very aggressively because he's making multiple trades throughout the day. So just make sure that's clarified for everybody here on the channel, because at 35 days in now, we're going to be up about $1,900 or up about $900 on the 1 point a day challenge. Because they made the point this morning, and that's what we'll track is their points. And Alan and Soto made his first trade this morning. He got 31 points, but we only take 1 point of that, right? So we're making sure we're making this legitimate for everybody to understand that they can be done. And that's, one thing, like I said, I'll make some videos here because one of our other members or one of our other subscribers had asked for that, and I just hadn't done it yet. But it's to show you that the math does not lie, and so we've got it coded out in Excel spreadsheets and stuff, and I'll make a video on that, just showing the math will not lie at one contract compounded at 1,000 per contract, what that can turn into. The only argument you really have with me is because you can't argue the math, right? Math is math. And it sounds outrageous from a percentage standpoint, and I get it, and I totally get it. But what we need to look at is now, since we can't argue math, we can take that argument away. All we can argue is, does the market move more than 1 point a day, up and down? And I think everybody in here can say yes, right? So if there's a potential to make 1 point a day in the market, we can't take that. We can take that argument away, right? So if the only other argument is, do you have the ability in your method to consistently make 1 point? Well, I'm not going to tell you you're not going to make 1 point every single day. I mean, that's just going to trade in our method. You're going to lose sometimes, and that's okay. But our ultimate goal is to net 3 points a week, and you'll see how fast, even at 3 points a week, how fast your account will compound. So that's the reason we try to stress this 1 point, and then we always have a 1 point stop. We don't move it. There's been times we've wanted to move it, but you can't move it. The only thing you can do is get out of a trade quicker, not take the full point loss if you don't want to, but you can't move your stop just because you entered in a bad spot. So that's why it's so important to justify your entries, make sure all the tools line up, and you like everything you see, and you're willing to risk that 1 point, because you can't change that stop. We cannot move that stop. If you move that stop, you're going to blow. You're just opening the door to blow up your account. You can't do that, especially at the leverage we're doing it at. So let's see here. Let me kind of catch up on the chat here. 1 point, yeah. So Soto said 1 point stop is key and is what allows me to do the one contract per 1,000. That's exactly right. Alan said, Soto, you use the market profile as well, or do you mainly use supply and demand? Great entries. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, good entries. Yeah, man, thanks. Good entries today, man. Some days they just line up pretty well, and you just have to be happy about those days and be patient for those days, because as you know, probably better than all of us. I think I've been trading for 20 years. I think you got 20. You got 7 more years than I do. So I think you can see that the market will give us the opportunities. We just have to be patient, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with that, Alan. So thank you, but thank you anyway. So let's see. I appreciate that, Soto, but you know, everybody here, if you're not willing to learn it, then it's all for naught, right? So I appreciate it. You guys are good. Y'all good traders. So Soto says all this time using all the tools except market profile at this time, but I have used market profile in the past and love it. But just using the other tools, BK talks about volume, PA. So yeah. So yep. So originally I taught the method with him with market profile and got him really good at market profile, and but I've kind of stripped that away from him for time being and let him master these other tools, which he's done very well at. And so when he pulls market profile back into the picture, it'll just be that much easier, or not easier, I should say, but he'll have that much more confidence. So yeah, but he and Mitchell are doing phenomenal. Paul's doing phenomenal, you know. So all three of those guys are kind of started together, and they're all doing phenomenal. So kudos to those guys, man, for sure. Hey, man, I like that statement a lot right there, Alan, more than you probably realize, you know. I know you're talking to Soto there, but I'll kind of read it out. But simple is best. I agree. Never use market profile just due to the fact of what's not broken, don't fix it. And that's the key word there, man. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Stop. And I think that's just your experience talking, you know, and being around the market. But for new people, they're always trying to chase the new shiny object, and they'll just find themselves kind of going around in a circle. So, but those are very wise words from you there. Is you use a method that you're consistent with, and you're comfortable with, and it works, right? Some days nothing's going to work 100%. I don't care who you say you are or what you say you can do. Not one person on this earth can trade 100%. You know, so you're going to have losses, and that's part of the game, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So, like you said, Alan, you're very confident with that, and you're comfortable with that. So, no reason to mess with it. Same way with me here on this method here. You know, it's simple. It might be too simple for a lot of people, especially if you've had a lot of experience and been around the block a few times. You might think this method is way too simple, and that's okay, you know. But like you just said, I'm not gonna, if it's not broken, why try to fix it with something else, right? It works, so stay with it, and then that's what we're doing here. So. So no, not all credit to me, Soto. I appreciate that, man. But no, it's if you can keep it simple, you'll be successful, and that's the whole name of the game. Like I said, we've had 3 trades up 6.5 points, so that's nice. You know, all with 1 point stops. You know, that's the kicker here. All 1 point stops, man. That's the kicker. You know, so we let our tools tell us the entry, and we just had good entries today. Oh, cool, Alan. I appreciate that, man. Well, we enjoy your fib lessons, man. So keep those coming for sure. Because, like I say, if we can get those kind of tools that are like fibs are definitely recognized by just about every trader out there, you know. So if you can kind of get a handle on those fibs as well, and just kind of lay it on top of what we have here, our zones, and they confirm, then that's just more confidence. So I appreciate that, man. But keep those fib lessons coming. So, but I appreciate that. Yeah, but I'll kind of get a little bit more into market profile as we kind of open up a little bit, and we kind of get same kind of guys coming in here. We kind of get the newness more off because like I said, we're only been open now for 35 days, or open. We've only been going live for about 35 days now. So let me get in a couple months here, then we'll kind of start opening up a little bit more. But not too much more, you know, because there's no need to do much more. But I think it'd be good to kind of really get into order flow for everybody, as well as market profile, and let those two pieces line up. And then with Alan and his fibs, kind of having us overlay every once in a while and checking out the all the areas of confluence, then that just gives you more and more confidence. So putting a good group together, guys. I like this very much. So thank you all very much for chiming in. Thank you for being here. I sure do appreciate it. Much. So, but if you're just joining us, normally we have two other guys talking as well, but we're having some technical difficulties today. So not able to get them on the phone, but there's one of them's talking in the chat anyway. So I know Mitchell's probably at work, kind of trades while he's at work there. So he's kind of having to do double duty right now, but I don't imagine that's going to be too much longer. But anyway, yeah, so just being patient, waiting for this area to happen. Nothing's happened yet. It's kind of going sideways. Just waiting on this to go sideways. All right, it's actually going sideways, so we're just waiting for it to break down one way or the other. Either break down into our zone here that we have circled, which is also a confluence for a 50% move on this this move right here from the fib. So we'll kind of watch that area. This red line is it was a big seller that kind of got run over on this big move up here. Well, we expect him now to become a buyer at this area. Kind of remember to get out of his position if he can, because he's hurting right now. If he hadn't got out of position right now, he's hurting. Okay, so but he can get back into this area right here. He'll unload contracts, which will make this thing bounce to the upside. Okay, so that's one thing to always remember. When you it doesn't matter big or small. Let's say we bought in here, as soon as you buy a position, you automatically become a seller. Okay, you're looking to get out of a position, right? So you have to be a seller at that point, either at your profit targets but you're a seller. And same vice versa. As soon as you sell short on something, you're an immediate buyer at that point, trying to buy back out of a position at a lower price so you can make a profit. So that's how these two things work. So this big red line you have right here, or this red line I have, that we're waiting for price to come down and get into this area before we go long, if it gives us this opportunity, is because we had big buyers ran over in this area right here. So if they're still holding positions at this area, which I kind of doubt they are, but as they come back in here, they might be scaling out, trying to get out. Well, that's also going to help this bounce to the long side if it gives us this opportunity. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. Also, we have an area of strong resistance up here on the hourly time frame. As you can kind of see where my cursor's at up here at 45 even. We're looking to short out of that. If we get the opportunity there and price lines up, volume lines up, all of our tools line up, we'll short out of this area here. Okay, so if we get up there. But right now we're just kind of in between, so we're just being patient. Volume staying nice and low for us, so we like that. We'll just kind of keep it low and let it go sideways. We only got about 20 more minutes left of the live stream, so might not get another trade, but that's okay. We've had 3 great trades thus far with some runners, so those are always nice. So we're up nicely in the account this morning as a for the channel. Like I said, I keep the contracts here small for the channel so people can understand that. And when we get to 2,000 in our 1 point a day challenge, then at that point I'll let the count, what you see me trade here, grow. When we get to 3 contracts, I'll be trading 3 contracts. So that way you can see it in real time together. But anyway, so that's kind of what we're looking for. So we got about 20 minutes, and then we'll kind of update the spreadsheets for the trades today and kind of give you the balances for those. But right now we're just hanging out waiting. A lot of sideways action right here, obviously, so we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen to the long side or the short side. And if it gives it to us in the next 18 minutes, then great. If not, have a great day. Go hit some balls, go to the golf course, enjoy your life, whatever you got to do. But that's kind of where we're at. So just being patient, guys. Just being patient. But thanks for being here, guys. I sure do appreciate it. Really do. If you have any questions, please holler at us. Let us know you're here. I really do appreciate your time and your willingness to check us out. But you can check out the description below in the video here on the channel and kind of read a little bit more about who we are. And we want this to be kind of a fun place, easy place to learn. There's no dumb questions. You don't know enough or you don't know too little. That's what we want here. We just want a lot of good conversation about trading and entertainment. And I don't provide very good entertainment, unfortunately. But as soon as we get everything worked out with Soto and Mitchell to get back in here tomorrow, they provide all the good entertainment during this time frame, not me. So I'm kind of boring, but because like I said, I do most of my talking for the day right here. I'm pretty introverted, don't talk a whole lot, and but trying to kind of keep it from just being dead silent. So Alan says, BK, please share on how you met and begin teaching Mitchell and Soto. What brought you to YouTube? I'm glad your style of trading really blends well on how I traded over the years. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I've met Mitchell and Soto from actually Mitchell's dad. Got introduced to him off working away from the area, and met them and kind of started talking to both of them. You know, Soto's he can kind of tell you his background, but met both him and Soto that way. Kind of just hit it off, and they were new guys and wanted to trade, and so I kind of told them I'd teach them how to trade, and so I really taught Soto first, and Soto actually taught Mitchell kind of the method, and then we brought all of them together, all three of us together here. So that's kind of how that happened. Just kind of a good thing, you know. Things happen for reasons, and brought us together, so I think that's a good thing. What brought me to YouTube? You know, just kind of wanted to share this, you know. I mean, it's something that I felt like people can learn this, and it has the ability to change people's lives. You know, it has the ability to give somebody a skill if they really want to learn it, that will give them the ability to make money the rest of their life if they learn how to control their discipline, or be disciplined and control their emotions, and to learn a method in the market. As long as the market's there, when you learn these skills, as you know, you'll have an opportunity to make money, you know, and it all comes down to how you manage it, and your risk management and your money at that point, to where you can grow it enough to make a living off of it, and which you can. There's a lot of people that do that. We do that, so you can do that. So it's something I just felt like, you know what, this is simple. It's not over difficult. I was kind of tired of people so much out there on YouTube that makes it seems to be like it's so hard, and it's just not really hard at all. It's just really not hard. You just got to break things down and keep it simple. Trading's not difficult when you do that. You just don't overcomplicate it. Don't put too much into your charts, you know, and don't get paralysis by analysis concept, you know, that whole thing. And understand that, you know, the market works off of basic principles, right? You know, up, down, sideways. All right. So what defines those? What's going to happen during those up, down, sideways times? You know, that's what has to happen in the market, right? You got buyers and sellers. So we just break it down to the basics, you know, leave it to the basics, and then go from there. And we that's where we put our four tools in place, and 5 tools in place. And so I just felt like YouTube was a good place to kind of share that. And if people want to learn that, great. And if they don't, that's okay too, you know. But I at least feel better for the fact that, you know, I'm showing you how to do something that I know 100% for a fact, because I live it, that it could give you an opportunity to make a living in the market. So, and I don't charge for a course. You know, I don't do all that kind of stuff. You know, if you want to pay for a course, there's some good courses out there. I mean, I'm the first to admit there's probably some pretty good courses out there that you can go learn some very valuable information for some of these guys, and you'll pay for it, and that's okay. It's an education. I have no problem with them selling it, as long as they're really doing it, right? So I have no problem with that. But that's just not what my intentions were. The only product I have for sale, as you can see, I have an auto trader that kind of does that, and that's only for the fact for people that can't do this during the day, but still gives them the opportunity to make money in the market. So that's all I've got, but I don't push it, you know, and it's there if you want to learn about it, and I'll answer any questions you might have about it, but I don't push it. I want you to learn this method, because anybody can learn this method. Anybody can learn this method. Man, if I could teach Soto this method, I can teach anybody this method. I mean, come on. I mean, that guy's just one step up from... I'm joking. I'm just joking with Soto. He's a good old boy, and he's very intelligent. A good guy. But yeah, man, anybody can learn the method. So that's why I decided to throw it on YouTube. You know, like I said, I'm not a presenter by any means. I stumble over my words a lot. I'm not a speaker, I guess you could say, a very polished speaker. You know, I might not be the best educator as far as trying to explain things, but, you know, I'm trying to put an effort out there, and that's where I appreciate guys like yourself, and Soto and Mitchell and Paul and the LJ and all these guys that are coming on. They're willing to kind of talk and kind of help explain something, because everybody brings a different perspective to the market, you know, which is what I like. You know, everybody's got a little bit different personality, so they see things a little bit differently. You know, but I just like to have the camaraderie. It's always better, and I think, Alan, you might be able to agree with this. I'm not sure, but I have found, I've been trading for 20 years, so I have found that I tend to trade better when I have other people kind of looking at the same thing with me, for the fact that if I'm just sitting here by myself, I can kind of get bored and get antsy at times and hit the button when I shouldn't, right? And so it's nice to have other people that kind of look for the same method or have the kind of somewhat of the same methodologies and some of the basic cores of the market and philosophy. And if you can all agree on something or disagree and figure out and work it out why this is a good entry or why it's not a good entry, or hey, that's not a good entry because Brian, you didn't see this over here. What do you think about this? This would stop me from entering. Then I have to look at that and do my own justification on that and my own study on that. So I think it's very good to have multiple people trading together. That's the reason I hope this channel, I hope this channel grows immensely. I'd love to have 100,000 people in here talking about trading. I think it would be absolutely awesome, because I don't want any negativity in here by any means. I want this to be a fun place to come and learn, and if you see a method you like, then great, let's talk about it, but if you like this method, then that's the reason I want to show it to you, and you can learn it because it's very simple, and that's the big thing about it. It's simple. So that's kind of a long-winded answer about why I'm on YouTube, Alan. Like I said, I'm brand new to it, 35 days, so it's rough, on days and technical issues like today. So trying to learn stuff but really not trying to push anything just for that point right now. Not trying to push the channel by any means. It'll just grow organically. But until we kind of get some of these issues worked out, then maybe one day we'll kind of advertise it and try to get more people in here so they can learn, but not really pushing it right now. So my style of trading really blends well on how I've traded over the years. Okay, that's great. No, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad because that tells me a lot, and I appreciate that because you've been trading for 27 years, I think is what you told us, and if I've been trading 20 years, you're 27, so if our styles are somewhat combined, that's just more confidence that, hey, it works, right? It's just, can never have enough confidence. So I appreciate that. But I hope that kind of answers your question. It's all long-winded, but I kind of hope that helps. But all right, man, we got about 10 more minutes here, and then we'll probably end up shutting this thing down if we don't get any of this move into our zones that we want to trade. Because like I said, I've taken 3 trades thus far, it's up pretty good. So I'm not going to risk any of this sideways action right here until we kind of get into our zones that I have circled, and I'll be looking to take trades out of those accordingly, one to the downside and one to the upside. So we'll kind of see what we get offered first, if anything, in the next 9 minutes. And if not, awesome, no worries, man. Well, we've had a great day, and then we'll update spreadsheets so everybody can kind of see the running totals of what we're doing, and then we'll do it again in the morning. That's kind of how it goes. So we'll do it again tomorrow. Hopefully our technical issues will be fixed tomorrow, and we'll have Soto and Mitchell on, so they can provide a little bit more entertainment, so you guys don't have to hear me talk much anyway. They have a lot more stories. They're both young bucks compared to me, so I'm a little bit older. I'm 46, and they're in their late 30s, early 30s, I believe, mid 30s, somewhere around there. So they're a little bit more fun, I guess, and have a little more stories to tell, and are willing to tell. I might want to say that. I've got a lot of stories, but probably don't need to tell them on here. So anyway, but so hopefully join us again tomorrow. If you're just now checking us out, I really do appreciate that. But subscribe to the channel, man, and then get notifications when we go. Like I said, I'll be putting out a couple other videos outside of the live stream to kind of explain the growth potential of the accounts and how that works, and then potentially on some market profile, and also the probably the next one I'll throw out there really is going to be the order flow, which is so important. So we'll kind of look deeper into these candles and actually what's going on and what's happened, so that tells you a lot. So we'll kind of throw those two out there as well. But if you're new just checking us out, please check out the channel, because we have all the tools that we trade here. We trade 5 tools consistently, and that's going to be price action, volume, support and resistance, supply and demand, and order flow. And I've got videos on the channel for that, so specifically for each of those. So check those out. Kind of shows how simple we keep it, and doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Even though I've got a bunch of lines on my chart today, a little more than usual, as Alan pointed out, and that's right. I just kind of drew some order flow chart lines in here, and you can see how price bounced off of those beautifully today. So that's always nice to see that these things happen. So it's easy when days are like this, when you kind of draw them up ahead of time and they all work out. It makes you realize, you know, that this is great and it can be done. So anyway, all right, we're getting some push actually up in this area. We're starting to get a little bit of push out of this sideways action here. So let's keep an eye on it here. We pushed through the top here, so let's make sure it's not a little fake breakout here. But we're not going to trade anyway until we get up into the 45 area. So, yep. Yeah, LJ. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. What order flow tool do you have? Can you tell me that? When you say you have the order flow tool, what are you using? Are you using it off a NinjaTrader, like volumetric bars, or are you using a separate piece of software for that to show order flow? Because there's a few different, actually, there's about 3 or 4 really good softwares out there that also just concentrate on order flow. And I didn't know if that's a third-party tool you use, or you actually use the NinjaTrader. Let me know that, please. So I definitely plan to put out a video on that shortly, and I'll do that since you've actually asked about that. I'll try to get that done over this weekend. So if you can just bear with me a few more days, I'll try to get that done this weekend since you've asked about it, and kind of maybe look to throw that back in here. Got a busy weekend though, so I'll have to check. I'll have to see if I can do it this weekend. We got baseball tournaments all weekend out of town, so I'll see if I can find some time to make a 10 to 15 minute video on it. But I shouldn't promise you that, because I can't say for sure I'll have it up this weekend, but I will get to it pretty quick though. Okay. You have NinjaTrader indicator. Okay. What indicator is that? Can you tell me which one you're talking about? Are you using the order flow suite from NinjaTrader? Let me see here. Like, are you using order flow volume? Or are you using the are you using this whole order flow area that I've got on my chart here? Is this what you're talking about, where it's got the order flow cumulative data delta, the market flow depth, flow trade detector, flow volume profile, flow VWAP? Is that what you're referring to? If you don't mind me asking, or are you talking about something different? That way I just have an idea of what you're referring to there. Because what I will do, I'll just go ahead and tell you what I will do. I'm just going to use the, instead of bringing in a third party, because I do have actually some, but I'm not going to use it because it's a paid software, and I can just, for what I'm going to do and what I'm going to teach for our method, you can actually just stay with NinjaTrader and just use the volumetric bars. An indicator just shows all the let me just bring one over real fast, and I'll just show you this is what it's going to look like. It's just volumetric bars, right? So you can kind of see that here on my chart. Let me bring this in. That's all I'm going to use, just the volumetric bars, okay? Say that a couple times, so you really like it that much, huh? So that's kind of what that's what it's going to look. That's the volumetric bars, and that's kind of what I'll use to show you order flow and just kind of explain some of that. So we'll just stay so where it's free, you know. You don't have to pay for anything extra. It's all part of the NinjaTrader package. So, all right. So yeah, I know he loves the order flow. Soto does. So he's very good at doing it. So, all right. So we're looking to get back in our area here. We got 2 minutes left. So we'll kind of watch it here. Volume's increasing a little bit, so we're gonna have to let that slow down some. But we know we had to push out of this area, so we know we needed more volume to do so. But so we'll kind of watch it and start to see if we can get some rejection wicks pushing up into this area here, and then we'll possibly look for a trade here. and one last one before we head out, potentially here. So we'll kind of keep our eye on it and see if it wants to push, because I think it's going to bounce pretty good off of here just because of all the sellers right up here. But it could go deeper into the zone as well. So we just have to be patient and watch. So I like seeing a little bit of rejection that we're seeing right now in this candle. I like that. I would like it to close with a little bit of a rejection wick with the body still. From a price action standpoint, I'd like to see that, because that tells us, we still got some volume to get higher, but it also shows that prices, we got some sellers coming into the auction, and that's really all the market is a big auction, guys. So it's understand that all you do is you got buyers and sellers at different prices, and learn how to kind of put it in that context and kind of really think through that and think about it. Then you'll kind of see why these supply and demand zones work out so well with support and resistance and price action and volume. So all right, we got price pushing here, so let's keep an eye on it. Volume's increasing, which we knew we had to do here. Still relatively low with these kind of big moves, but we needed to break out of this sideways action here. So not a worry, that's not scaring me. We'll just talk our way through it. So we'll watch it. Let's see if we want to make this trade out of here. So we'll be patient. Soto, do you like this trade up here or what? Or no? You or Mitchell? Anybody like this trade up here? I know Alan is just watching the text. He's not away from his computer, but didn't know if anybody else likes this opportunity up here. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go ahead and put in a little trade. It's a little bit of a rejection wick. It's a big candle still, but I feel like it's going to bounce enough for me maybe to get my point. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, if it takes me out, I'm okay with that. So with price coming down here first, I'm going to kind of be a little bit patient. I'll probably go a little deeper now into that zone. I'll go at 46 even. With price action jumping down right out of the chute there, it means it's going to go higher for us. And yeah, we just want to make sure it doesn't push too hard. That's what you took the trade? Where'd you take the trade at, man? What trade did you take? Where'd you take it at? Did you front run that? I mean, you would have had to front run that pretty good. I'm watching at 29.45. Paul says, yep. I went ahead and moved my price higher just because of price action on this candle has gone lower first. So all that tells me is going to have strength to go. It's building strength to go higher. So I personally would have liked price to bump up a little higher first, and then. But if we get a big rejection wick, which we're gonna, as long as price doesn't go too much longer in this candle, too much lower, and create a big rejection wick, then I'll stay where I'm at. But as it start, if it wants to go from here, I'm okay with that. But we don't want it to go lower and create this big long rejection wick to the upside, because then it tells me we got too much strength to get in right at the front side of this. Still going to bounce out of this area. Pretty strong that it's going to bounce out of this area. It's just somewhere we got to watch it. Oh, so you took a trade on the micro. Okay, cool. And micro's a tick or two higher. Yeah, micro would have been at least a tick, maybe two, if a little bit higher probably. That's probably the reason you got into the trade, because it's rejecting out of that area. And what price did you get in on the micro? Tell me. 43.75 on the micro. Oh, so okay. So you were down here quite a bit. All right, cool. To go short, yeah, you go short. Got my point and trailing. Nice. Well, it's got to be out now, right? So 43.75. Well, it just took you out. Nice trade though, man. Good job. Yeah, good job. So let me back out here just real quick, guys. So hang with me. Let me back out on my chart here and kind of go back up into this area on a 5-minute time frame and see if it can give me a little. If it's going to be a little bit higher price into here. I have 45.75 as a good rejection here. Kind of bring it in real quick before price gets me into this trade. I'm not watching it here. Yeah, okay, so 45.50 to 47 is a good area, so I'm gonna stay right at I'm gonna stay right at 46 right now. I'm not gonna get crazy with the trade since I didn't since I've already made some good trades this morning. Not gonna get crazy and give something back, just trying to catch it at the perfect time. That's not what I'm trying to do here, so we'll just let price come to us at our area up there at 47. I mean at 46 even, and if I get a trade out of there in a good position, then great, and if not, then remember, I've got a 1 point stop, and I'm okay with taking a loss here because I feel like I'm comfortable getting into that trade as long as the volume has decreased, which is great. We know we're in a support or supply and demand area as long as support and resistance area here. So I know I can should be getting a bounce out of that area. Just whether I catch it right or not is the big question, right? But I feel like I'm in a good area. Let me pull up an order flow, make sure again that I kind of like that area. All right, which I do. There's definitely rejection right there. So we'll see how it plays out, guys. I'll hold on for a few more minutes. We're 5 minutes over, but I'll hold on for a few more minutes since we got so close to this trade, and we'll kind of watch it into our price here and see if we want to take it. But if it gets into 45 and shorts out of there pretty hard, then I'll go ahead and just remove my order and call it a day. But because I'm not going to chase price. You don't chase price. Let me say that again. Do not chase price. It usually doesn't work out in our favor. So pick your zone. Identify it early. Make sure all your tools line up. And if it gives you the opportunity to trade, then you trade it. If not, then no big deal, right? So we'll just kind of wait and see. Yeah, Alan, I'll do that for you. Sure will. All right, price is actually into our 45 and a half. It's bumped it. It's rejecting out of there. Let's see here how good it's rejecting though. Not full yet. So Paul, did you get in at 45 or did you deepen up a little bit? So we're bouncing out of our zone right here a little bit. I think it's going to go a little higher the way it's looking. So it's not rejecting hard just yet. So that means sellers aren't just jumping at the bit to push it down. I mean, it's accepting them. It's kind of taking them in, right, absorbing the buyers right now. So we'll see. All right, I'm in right now. Got in right at 46. So with the stop at 47. So we'll see if we can get a little bounce. If it wants to push through us, then I'm okay either way, right, guys? That was the name of the game. Be okay either way, right? Well, bumped against our profit target there, but it's backing off of it. So come on, baby, reject a little bit here. So we'll see. No big deal either way. All right, first target filled. All right, first target filled. Second position into one ticket profit here. So nice job there. So we went up into our 46 area, ticked us in, and then now we got a 1 point. We got a 1 point profit on 1 point, and we got a second point running. So Paul's in at 46. Good, excellent. You're in at 46 as well. Good job, Paul. So we're up 1.5 points on our second position there. So we'll kind of let that run. I think it'll probably come back up and tick us out, and that's okay. I don't think it's ready because the price action is not telling me it's ready just to take off yet from here to the downside. But I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave it there, man. I'm not gonna chase it. I'm already doing very well with it, so just gonna leave it. Give it a chance. You never know. None of us know price. Can predict price where it's going each time, but we have good areas where we think we get some rejection and bounces out of, and we just try to take advantage of those. Which we did here again for the day. So another good trade, up 6.5 now, or 7.5 now for the day, and with another quarter of a tick locked in. So I'm not going to, even though it's up 1.75 points, 2 points here, I'm not going to chase it. I'd like for it to push down. What I will do, just kind of talk through here, what I will do, because we definitely got some area of support right here. It could definitely push me up and take me out, and that's okay. But what I would look to do actually is get out of this position. If it wants to come short, I'd look to get out of this position right here where it took off from, right about 39 even. So I'm going to move. Well, no, I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm going to let it run, and maybe it can run down into our. Well, maybe it won't do anything. Maybe it'll take us out of the tick there. So that's all right. So we're out. All right, so that's still a good trade. Point and tick, good job. So that gets us pretty nice for the day. So that would definitely be it for me trading for the day. So 4 for 4. So so that's great. So Alan says, your room has helped me enjoy trading with others. I have mostly been alone with my trading. Due to others not keeping it simple. Oh, cool. Well, hey, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, because we enjoy having you for sure, man. And that's why I think just talking to you and watching how you phrase things and watching how you talk about things and the fibs that you use and stuff like that, I think we'll have a good time together and definitely learn from each other. So that will be awesome. So I appreciate that. Yeah, but trading together is definitely, for me, has always been more of a benefit. And when you got guys looking kind of the same type of stuff, and it doesn't have to even be the exact method, but you can kind of confer and talk to each other about different things and opportunities. I think it really helps. And so I'm glad you're here. So thank you for that. So, all right. So we're going to call it today here. We'll kind of go, let me kind of do what Alan was asking here. Let me kind of go through that. But 4 good trades today. 8 points, it looks like. 7 3/4 points. So very nice job. All right. So let me see here. Let me read this question again from Alan. So at the end of the day, can you put a different colored arrow and quick breakdown of the 1 point trade a day? Yep. To go with the 1 point a day update. Okay, sure. Just to make it easier to see what works that day. Yeah, absolutely. What we're going to have to do there for that is I'm going to have Soto send me a chart, and we'll probably start this tomorrow just so he'll be aware of that. Unless he wants to send it to me now, that'd be fine. But what we'll have to do that between Soto and Mitchell. We'll need both of those guys do that, because I don't record the first point. I've been doing this a long time, so I don't take the first point of the day for the group, if that makes sense. I mean, for the spreadsheet, I let we use all Soto and Mitchell's trades there because they're new to trading. So we wanted to show that anybody that you can be new to do this, so that's what we use. We use their trades for that. So I'll be happy to put those on the chart and kind of go through those when they'll send those to me. I'll start having them send me those each day when they make their first point, win or lose. Take a snapshot of that trade with the zones drawn out, and then we can I can walk through those with everybody for sure, because based on the zones and everything they draw out where they make their trades, I'll be able to tell you what they were doing, and they can even put some direction on that if they'd like to do that as well. But so Soto, I don't know if you want to do that this morning or not, if you got time, or if you're doing that now. If you can take a snapshot of your trade this morning. If you've got that on your chart, that'd be great. If not, we can start that tomorrow. No big deal. Just let me know how you want to do that, and then we'll start breaking that down at the end of the day. I think that's a good suggestion by Alan, so people can kind of see that it's really happening. It's not me just saying, hey, you made a point, or hey, good job, you lost a point today, or hey, good job, we won 15 in a row. It's versus me just saying it, because we don't take my trades. We take yours and Mitchell's trades. If you can maybe start sending that to me each day. I know you did early on, but let's go ahead and do that again, and I'll go ahead and break down your trade, win or lose, for that first point of the day for everybody, and then that way we can explain that with the spreadsheet as well, so everybody understands it's happening. It's not me just saying, hey, we made a point today. So I appreciate that, Alan. Okay, yeah, so Soto's going to send that to me right now. Check your email in a minute. All right, I will. He's going to send me that screenshot of his trade this morning, so we can kind of walk through that, and we'll update the spreadsheet at the same time, so everybody understands what that 1 point, how that 1 point's growing, and what that 1 point's doing. Now, remember, and I'll explain this when we put up the chart, but remember, he's trading more contracts, but it's still the same point. That's the beautiful thing about it. 1 point's 1 point, no matter if you've got one contract or 1,000 contracts. 1 point's 1 point. Only thing you'll get into as you get growing into substantial contracts, even on the ES, you'll get a tick slip here and there, but we don't have to worry about that for a while unless you're going to come on in and start with about 100 grand. Then you might start seeing about 100 contracts, a little bit of slippage, but you're not going to see much as long as you're trading in the market during the New York session. You're not going to have a problem with slippage. So even if you do, it's a tick, and we can overcome that real easy. But anyway, so yeah, so Soto's going to send that to me here, and let me go ahead and check my email. Flashlight app. Okay. Why so many entries? Well, we only took 4 trades, so I'm not sure. We took 4 trades based on our method, and we trade what our method tells us to during this 2-hour window, and that's kind of what we do. So when we had the opportunity and our method lined up to take the trade, we took the trade. Sometimes we don't take any trade. Sometimes we'll take a couple trades, but as far as the 1 point a day goes, you'll make the 1 point and walk away if you have $1,000 contract here, and you take your 1 point stop, 1 point profit, and win or lose, you walk until you get the multiple contracts, and you can kind of start trading multiple times. But so that's kind of it. Is that what you're referring to there, flashlight app? Just let me know. And hey, thanks for being here. I know it's the first time you jumped in here, so thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, absolutely. So that's the reason I have 4 trades on my chart here. It's only 4 entries. So there's only 4 entries here, and I'll kind of open them up for you and kind of zoom in on them here. So let me do that. So let me get out of it. Let me do that right there. So this is my trades this morning. So you see my trades and my entries and my exits, my stops and my took no stops this morning. Okay, so I had an entry right here based on our method at 12.75 at 29.1275. Okay, first target was at 13.75. You can see that says target 1. Then on my stop, which is my stop, is my trailing entry that's 1 tick into profit, and you can see it got stopped out at 13 even, which it shows stop 2 at 13 even, so that's 1 tick into profit. So it gave me my trade based on my criteria and our rules here and our method, so we took the trade. Same way here again, right here at our second trade was at 29.1225, just a couple ticks lower, because it gave us the opportunity again to get back in with the order flow. It kind of told us, hey, we're definitely rejecting out of this area, so we took that trade. So and remember, all these zones are in. Well, I'm not, since you're just now joining us, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. But these zones were already drawn up ahead of time. This is not done after the fact. So these moves to the tick of these green lines and these zones that's all was already there. So I'm not going to draw them up after the fact to make them look pretty. And if you've been around at all, you'll see that these zones are drawn ahead of time. So we just based on supply and demand, and order flow, we know price is going to move out of those areas, and we just have to find the right entries out of those areas. And today we were just 4 for 4 at them, so we did pretty well. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. Our first move out of this one, I actually moved my first target way up here because I knew price was going to get back into this green line that you see right here, this long green line. This is actually drawn from a profile from the day before where I knew it's a value area high, so I knew price was going to get there. Just had a very good positive feeling it was going to get there based off this rejection wick out of our zone because we knew it was going to bounce nicely. So we did. We got all the way up here and took my first profit there at 14.75. So it was a good little runner there, 3 points there, so that was nice. And then my trailing stop got taken out at 13.75. So it was a good trade there. Okay. So fast forward now and those were done, prior to the New York Open. Okay, so my first one was at 7:50 this morning Eastern time, and then my second one was at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Fast forward to market open, opportunity here presented itself perfectly based on our zone that had this little zone, this blue zone right that you see right here was drawn prior to the market opening. Okay, so I knew based on our method and why we do things that I had a pretty good opportunity based on order flow. The price was going to bounce right here at the top of this zone. which it did. It bounced one. One ticked me in, which we have to have unless you're the first line, unless you're first in line on order flow, which usually is not the case. But we only one ticked in, which was great. So we took one tick of heat, right? So we were at 16 even. Our entry was at 16 even. At one for 2 contracts. Got out at 17 for our point. Quick little point there. That happened within about 5 seconds. Bam, bam, and we were out. So that's our first point there, which was nice. Then our second trailing stop went up to 20 even. You'll see that there. Okay. Then our third point would just happen. I mean, our fourth trade just happened a few minutes ago. We had an entry right up here at 46 even. We had this zone drawn out and called out early all day. Actually, it's actually been there for 3 days now. So, so it's actually been there for a while, and that's on our hourly chart there. So I entered that for a quick little bounce there, and we got it, and we got one ticked out. So it's still showing in that area. So that's kind of what the multiple entries were for today. So there's 4 trades for the day. All right. Let me see. Okay, Soto's giving me that, so let me get that. It says, do you feel that the 29.55 level is a short? Well, let's see here, 29.55 area. Let's take a look and see. Let me move out to an hourly chart on that. Let's take a look at it. 55. Let's see, 55. It's a top of a hidden zone there for sure. I think you can get some bounce out of that area. I do. I think you're going to get a bounce possibly. I mean, I don't know 100%, you know, for sure. I can't tell you that, but I think you're going to get a bounce out of this area right here. But that's a pretty big area there for us. So it's 47.50 to 55.25. I think you can get some area out of there for sure to the downside. I think you can get some hesitation. Let me just put it that way. You can get some resistance there unless something just spikes for some reason. You should get some resistance there. Right at 55, I'm not sure. But I know that's kind of the top of a zone that I would consider just first glance as a potential area. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't know for sure. But I think so. Especially with these 2 zones back to back beside each other, I think there's definitely a lot of selling going on up there. A lot of sellers in that area. So all right, hey, let me go ahead and jump to the spreadsheet. Let me pull in Soto. Let me go pull Soto's email real quick so we can kind of see that and kind of do what Alan was asking and kind of show that first point of the day that the room gets credit for, win or lose. Let me pull that in here. All right, let me download this if it gives it to me here. All right, so there it is. Let me see if I can figure this out here. All right, kind of do this a little bit smaller. Well, no, let me see here. Okay, so so here we go. So now you can see on the chart. You should be able to see on the chart. Please let me know when you can see that, because I do have a little bit lag on my end, it looks like. So let me know if you can see this chart, please. Just type in yes or Y or whatever. Thumbs up, or just not the middle finger, please. But just whatever. Just let me know that you can see this chart now. Anybody, anyone, Bueller, anyone, Bueller. Can anybody see this chart yet? I don't want to start talking about it if you can't see it. Hello. Yeah, I'll explain this chart here in just a second when somebody lets me know they can see it, because I have a pretty good lag on my end, it seems like. So I don't want to start talking through this thing and nobody know what I'm talking about. So let me know when you can see this chart. Yep, awesome. Thank you, Flashlight. Appreciate that. All right. So this is Soto's chart here. This is him working our method, you know, and he's taken... What we do here, for the way we record our we do this 1 point a day challenge. Okay. This 1 point a day challenge we do here is off the first trade of the day by either Soto, which you see a chart here, or Mitchell. They're the two other instructors here, are kind of guys that come in here and talk. They're both newer traders, okay? They're new to this method. Actually, this method is the only method they know for the most part. So they haven't had years of experience learning other things. They're brand new to this trading, and they've learned this method really only, and have done very, very well at this method. So but what we do, since I've been doing this for 20 years, I don't take my trades. I don't think that would be a fair assessment. I think it'd be better to take someone that's newer to learning this, and people can kind of understand that, hey, if they're new and they can do it, I can do it. And that's kind of the mindset, because you can do it. I promise you can do it. You just have to have confidence and be willing to take the time to learn it, but you can do it. So what we do here, this is Soto's trade this morning, his first trade out of the gate. He's going to show you right here where we had a zone. He had a zone drawn up at whatever price that is. Let me look at that. 30, 35, 40, 640. He had this zone he drew up at 640 based on our criteria. Okay, and there's check out the supply and demand video on our channel there. It's not a very long video, but it would kind of tell you how we had determined supply and demand. So he's made this zone based off our criteria, and what he was looking to do is based on volume, based on everything else, and on what we're looking for. He's looking for a trade to the short side here. Okay, and what he did, he got into this trade right here at looks like 18 probably and a quarter or so, and he got right back out. Well, here it is. Yeah, 18 and a quarter. He entered all his positions at 18 and a quarter, and he went all out as well at 17 and a quarter. So he took all of his positions, which are in this scenario is 31 positions. He took all 31 of them out at 17 and a quarter. Okay. So, and we did that. He did it right here at market open, basically right before market open. So volume was going to be a little bit higher. It was a little bit higher risk trade because of that, but he already knew that, and he took the trade, which was fine because it was in a good zone and it showed rejection. We had a lot of rejection wicks through this area. We have a lot of support and resistance going on. So a lot of support that's been broken to make resistance and vice versa. So he took this trade here with the rejection wicks and everything coming up. So he took a short trade right into the entry into this zone here and got his one point bounce. And that's what you're going to see, because right here, if you were looking at this after the fact, you would think, okay, this candle where he got into this trade just took him out. It was a loss, right? Because the candle closed all the way up here at 29.18. Well, after the fact, yes, it looks that way. But during real-time price action, which is so important, guys, to trade real-time price action, he got his point, because this candle came up into our zone and rejected down immediately, and then came back up to a higher high to 219 and took out his tick. Well, took out his point already, but he got his point. But I'm saying the way price would have happened in real time here, it came up in here, got him in at 18 and a quarter, so probably went into 18 and a quarter, 18 to 50, depending on where he was at in the line of order flow. So he got in, okay, and then on the order book there, so he got in, dropped down. How far it dropped down, I don't know right now, but it dropped down enough to give him his point, and you see that here, it hit his target, and then it went back up and it closed at 18. So that's why it's real important to do these things in real time, and you'll see our trades in real time. So this is his first point of the day, which we take. We only take 1 point. We don't take 31 of them. Okay, he's grown his account from 1,000 contracts. From one contract to 31 contracts. Okay, so he's doing phenomenal. But we only take 1 point between him and Mitchell. They're first traded. Doesn't matter if they're trading 1,000 contracts. If they lose on that, we consider it 1 point. Okay, so. It doesn't matter if they lose or win. We're going to record this. So we'll start doing this every day from here on out, showing they will present their chart for us to look at their 1 point. So people do not think that we're just making it up. They won today or lost today, because that's just not what we're about here. I have no reason to do that to you, and I will not do that to you. I'm not that type of person. I'm not trying to sell you anything to convince you this is how great it looks after the fact. That's just not how we do it. So So we'll do this from here on out, and he or Mitchell will present their chart for their first trade of the day, win or lose. So it doesn't matter. So that's that chart. So let me bring in the spreadsheet now to kind of give you the so we can kind of update that, because we've been doing this for 35 days now, live stream. So we've had all those trades recorded. So let me bring that in here, and it'll be kind of the same thing. Let me know when you can see this, guys. Okay. Okay. So hold on a minute. Let me back out of this real quick. So trades. Soto's talking here. So let me see what he's saying. So in this trade, I got some of my contracts started to exit at the one point in the same candle, and then the rest got out the following candle before the tick north. Okay, all right, good, yeah. So he got exit half his position because he has 31 contracts. They gotta exit out. So he exited out part of his position on the same candle, and the next candle got all of them. So that's all he's saying there, which is good. And that's what's going to happen when you have a lot of contracts that they got to take out as they take out. But all right, here we go. So. All right, so let me bring the spreadsheet back in and kind of see it. We'll update it here. Today is 10/10/19. One contract traded, 1.1, 0 points lost. Okay, so let me let this thing update for you here. Or I've already entered in the information, so let it catch up here, and we'll kind of talk through it. All right, so what you'll see on this individual results, okay, guys? So this is our 1 point a day challenge for the channel, okay? And what we mean by that is we want you to record this 1 point, or Mitchell and Soto have to record this 1 point win or loss, because we want to show that you can make 1 point a day. We want this thing to we're going to let this continue to compound, and you can kind of see what the potentials are. We have commissions factored in, right? You can actually get a lot better commission than that if you have a lifetime's license like I do, and you can actually get a lot lower commission than that, $2, almost $2 lower, but which makes a difference over time, by the way, especially when you're trading a lot of contracts. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use a standard fee here. So we're putting everything against us here. It's as honest and truthful as it can get right here. Okay. So what we'll do is take a 1 point stop and a 1 point target. Okay. If you win, we're going to make $44.80. If you lose, you're going to lose $55.20 because you have to add commissions to the loss, and you also have to take commissions from the profit. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. So as you can see, this is real time. So we started on $1,000. Now we're 35 days in, we're up to $1,878.40. And that's at 1 point at a time, guys. So that's not multiple contracts. That's 1 point at a time. So you can see our losers right here. We put in our losers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've had 6 days of losers. So we've been that just says your entries are great, and that's what they have to be. Our entries have to be very precise because we have a 1 point stop. So our entries have to be very precise, and the better you can get at your entries, the better you're going to be at trading. The sooner you're going to be able to do this for a living. Okay, so that's the 1 point a day challenge that we'll have on it, and we'll let this continue to grow. Every day, or we're going to win or lose, I guess I should say. So, but we're going to leave this thing compounding so you can see it. And but we're up to $1,878.40. So what that means is that we're in net profit of $878.40 pure net profit. That's after all the commissions are taken out. We're still at $878.40. So that's a lot of good trading. That's a lot of good entries is what that means. That means the method works, which we already know it works, but we're just showing it to YouTube here. If you want to learn this method, we're going to put it out there for you. And hopefully you want to learn it or add it to your arsenal, or just watch it, whatever you want to do. But we just want to put that out there and show you that you can do this. And not trying to sell you anything either. So we're just putting it all out there. This is how we trade. Okay. Now this team one over here is just kind of for fun. We update it. Just to update, but it's always kind of fun to do that, and that's all we're doing. We're just going to leave it one contract times how many points. So Soto, you got to tell me how many trades did you take today? Since I can't talk to you, you're going to have to put it in the chat here. And I'll put mine in here. So we put the gross points, and then we take out the loss points, and then it gives us the net points. And that's kind of just as a team for Soto and Mitchell and myself, kind of fun little thing we like to do, but doesn't mean much because we all trade at different levels. So Soto netted 31 points. So he had 1 point, 1 trade today. All right, good job. Mitchell, let me know if you've got anything, or tell me if he's not busy. I had 8 1/4. No losses. That's always good. But let me. That's 39 and 25, and Mitchell got 1, so that's good. So that's 1. So that's 40-25. So that's good. 0 loss today between all of us. So that's good. So that's net. So we pay $209 in commissions technically if we were to doing this as a team somehow, but we can't. So we're not managing people's money here. So this is just what we do for fun. Okay, this is a little fun thing. So $1,800 a day. That's good. 22 up to 22,473. All right. But the main thing really to look at, I don't want you to get lost on that at all. But the main thing to look at is the individual results, because that's for the channel. Okay. And that's what I want to stress, because the opportunity is there, the ability is there to make a living doing this, and anybody can do this. No special skill, just the willingness to learn. Doesn't matter if you've never looked at a chart before in a day in your life, you can learn this method because the fact we keep it simple. It's a very simple method, right? The market works on simple principles, so why not trade simply? And that's what we do here. Okay. So, all right. With all that being said, I think we're going to call it for today. So, thank you guys for being here. Sorry about the technical difficulties this morning and not being able to let Soto and Mitchell talk and kind of giving you some good entertainment. But hey, I sure really do appreciate all the interaction with everybody. Thank you guys so much. I hope everybody has a great day, and if you have any other questions, holler at us tomorrow. Come back and see us tomorrow. We'll do it again, rinse and repeat. That's the kind of thing. So thanks again. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Hope everybody has a great day. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.